Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Gist with Faithful. It's a platform where I share faith-based content that are targeted towards transforming lives, making us better individuals. And I so 100% believe that at the end of the day, we make the world a better place. Most of these contents are inspired by the Holy Spirit. Some are my personal life lessons. Some are lessons I have learned from books I have read. Others are general everyday conversation and things I learn from it. One thing that I know is I love to learn. So I'm here to share some of the few things I have learned. And today, I hope what I'm about to share will be a source of encouragement and a blessing to you and your loved ones. Today, we want to talk about dealing with comparison or handling comparison. According to the Merriam-Webster English Dictionary, comparison is the act of looking at the similarities of something or an object for you to create a differentiation or a resemblance. Like you pick up something, you compare, you relate it, you bring it side to side with something else. So for you to differentiate, are they similar or is there a very wide difference? And comparison that I'm going to talk about today is in terms of us comparing our lives with other people, comparing our presence with other people. Over time, I've come to realize everyone is having their own journey. Everyone is having their own storyline. Everyone is having their own life, like their own life. And everyone have different, unique, extremely different and peculiar life experiences. You see some persons, they were born with nothing, they rise to become something. Others were born with everything present, wealth, affluence, cars and everything. And they rise higher than even what their parents gave them. While others are born with wealth and over time the wealth vanishes. So all these different scenarios will shape how we think, how we walk, how we believe, how life turns out for us, how the fast pace at which we make progress. You get, but where the killer is when I want to sit down and compare my now with Mr. A's now, when I don't know Mr. A's story. I don't know the opportunities and privileges that were made available for Mr. A. I don't know the decisions that Mr. A had to make. If I sit down and start looking at the physical appearance of Mr. A and use that alone to judge my life, that is me comparing myself with Mr. A. And in all honesty, comparison is not just in one aspect of our life. It cuts across every aspect. And sometimes while we compare ourselves with people, the reasons are numerous, like so plentiful. One key one is social peer pressure, social peer pressure. This pressure of my friends are doing it, or my friends have achieved this, I need to achieve it. My friends are now in this phase of their life, I need to be there. But don't forget, like I said earlier, the opportunities available for your friends may not be available for you. The decisions your friends made, you may not be privileged to make that. Another key thing, the responsibilities your friends are carrying may not be the same as yours. Your workload may be higher. So if you want to now compare your life with your friend who doesn't have so much responsibility, so the person can pour money into personal care, looking good, looking flashy and all that, and you may end up getting depressed. Okay, some of the disadvantage I have come to from my own experience and a few persons I have had the conversations with, three things that I know comparison does to us is: one, it steals your joy. It steals your joy. It places you in a state of complete sadness, that you feel you are not doing enough. You feel you've not done, you are, in fact, right now you are the worst person on earth. What am I even doing with my life? Don't get me wrong, comparison is different from aspiring to be like someone, or to be like to achieve what someone has achieved. I'll get there in a minute. Now, it steals your joy. You just feel grumpy, you feel sad, you feel angry, because you feel, oh, my life is not where I want it to be, but Mr. B's life or Sister Angela's life, or look at this young man, he's living the life I want. you just become so unjoyful. And when you are unjoyful, you are ungrateful. You become ungrateful. You don't see anything working in your life again, because you've over magnified just that one area of your life that you have compared with the next person's own, and you just become ungrateful. You just end up putting yourself in a state of, you know what, nothing is working for me, nothing is working for me. And by the time you become ungrateful, the third thing that a comparison can do to you is you start to feel small. You start to lose your self-esteem, start to lose your self-worth, your self-appraiser. That confidence you had in yourself, that wow, I'm grateful, I have done this. But because the minute you are no more grateful, you start feeling what is there to be grateful for? You start seeing all your years of progress as nothing. That's three key things that comparison can do for you. So now, how do you avoid not comparing yourself to others in a healthy way? One key thing is always realize that my journey is with myself. My progress is with me. My everyday input into my life is with me. The comparison is with me. So if I want to compare, I look at who I was 5 years ago. This me sitting here talking to you right now, I wasn't this person 5 years ago. So my joy should come from, wow, 5 years ago, I wasn't like this. I wasn't thinking like this. I did not have access to some of the information I have now. I did not have access to the amount of money I am making now. I did not have access to the kind of people I have in my life right now. I am grateful for that. So it's now me looking back 5 years ago and who I was. Do you get my ability to look back 2 years ago and realize, okay, even 3 months ago, am I doing better? So it's now within you. And another way you can avoid comparison is to celebrate your little wins. Like even every drop of the way, celebrate. If you have the biggest dream whatsoever, the fact that you can sit down and have that dream, celebrate it. Celebrate your little wins. That brings a very high level of gratitude. Celebrate your little wins. Then the last thing I want to talk about in this video is sit down and evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself. Where am I presently? Where am I? Like, let me use a practical example. Academically, yeah, you want to you see someone who is a PhD holder or who has a doctorate in a particular profession, and maybe the person is same age range with you, and you're like, wow, my God, what am I doing with my life? Look at that person. Instead of that thought of, look at that person, she's now this, she's now that, or he is now this, she was my classmate in the university and all those stuff. Admire what they have. Be grateful for what they have. Then sit yourself down. Do I want that? Do I want to become a PhD holder? If your answer is yes, this is you assessing yourself now. If your answer is yes, then that is your where am I will come in. Where am I? I'm presently a BSc holder. Where do I want to be? I want to be a PhD holder. How will I get there? That's when you now sit down and start looking at universities, looking at which one the school fees is easier for you to pay. Do they have instrumental payment? Can you foot the instrumental payment with time? Like, if you pay instrumentally, will it affect your everyday life? Or can you create a structure that will make it work? Create a system that will work around it. So if you can sit down, I just gave academics as an example. You can use it in every area of your life. Where am I? Where do I want to be? So it's like you realizing my past, my present, and my future. My past, my present, my future. So you assessing yourself, evaluating yourself, examining yourself by yourself. It gives you that I'm grateful for what God is doing in Peter's life. I admire what Peter is having. I love to have that. But I am ready to take responsibility to become accountable for doing that which Peter did that made him get to where he is. Then another thing you can do is after you have evaluated yourself, you ask questions. Instead of allowing anger, comparison, envy, jealousy breathe in you, go to that person and ask question. Auntie, uncle, how did you do it? Please show me the way. Please show me the way. What did you do? How was it done? Some persons are so amazing. They will, in fact, they will school you like a child. They show you step by step. What, in fact, they will tell you the mistakes they made. They will tell you, when I was doing mine, I didn't have anyone to ask questions. So these are some of my mistakes. Please don't make it. If you meet such people, you are blessed. If you meet those who don't want to give you the information, do you know that the desire in your heart to want to know how to do something life will naturally navigate that information to you? I can testify of that. So with these few points, I want you to know that comparison is not necessary. It's not healthy for both for you and for the next person you're even comparing yourself to. It's not needed. Instead, take responsibility, sit down, ask yourself, the year is coming to an end. Ask yourself, what do I want? How can I achieve it? If there are things I need to do, I'm ready to take responsibility and I will do them. So by this time next year, I will be able to say, wow, I'm grateful. I desired this last year and I have achieved it. So with this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that there's no need to compare yourself. Enjoy the good life God has given you. Celebrate your little wins. Be excited. Be joyful. There's so much to be grateful for. And I would encourage you to please like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with your loved ones. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. And yes, compliment of the season. Bye.